Good evening, gentlemen. Dosto, good evening. I hope you are all alert about what I'm going to talk today. और मैं आपके साथ बात करूंगा on America's relationship with India. Now, अमेरिका और इंडिया की रिलेशनशिप बहुत पुरानी है, right from 1947. और 1948 में पहली बार हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जो थे उस टाइम के जवाहरलाल नेहरू ही went to America and met President Harry Truman. उसके बाद ये सिलसिला लगातार लगा रहा and lot of Indian prime ministers went to America. Nehru went twice, Indira Gandhi went, Narasimha Rao went, and even that famous Sardar Manmohan Singh also went to America twice. Earlier, right up to 2014, the Americans had debarred Modi from coming to America because they were not ready to issue him a visa, because the Congress government had deviously told the American state that don't issue a visa to Narendra Modi, whom they accused of having orchestrated the 2003 riots in Gujarat. Anyway, it's all over. The Supreme Court exonerated Modi, and the Americans, once he became the Prime Minister of India, withdrew their objections and welcomed him to America. I think it was one of the best times he had. He addressed the meeting in Madison Avenue, also in New York. And then when Trump was the president, he had a session which is called Howdy Modi, in which he went around with Modi in a massive stadium. Things had started improving at that time, but once Joe Biden has come into power, things have nosedived. Earlier, the Americans had a grouse that Pandit Nehru always treated them differentially. He didn't treat them the same way like he treated the Russians and the Chinese. Somehow Nehru was enamored of the Chinese, and even our present foreign minister, Mr. Jaishankar, has gone on record and said that Nehru preferred the friendship of China to that of America. The net result was, of course, as you all know what history has done. Nehru lost the battle with China, he lost Aksai Chin, he lost Tibet, he lost everything, and he lost his self-respect also. And ultimately he was hiding in Delhi all the time, I mean, he was heartbroken, and he couldn't understand why China should have rejected his proffered hand of friendship. The reason is very simple, because he never had any comprehension of what is global power politics. I wish he had gone through Mao Zedong's Red Book, in which Mao had said that political power comes out of the barrel of a gun. Well, it's a phrase which is common all over the world, and you all know what it means. I don't have to elucidate on it. Anyway, things continued. I would say the word is meandered along. Indira Gandhi came, but she was a stopgap person, extremely insecure. She got about 10,000 Sikhs killed, in the Golden Temple for no rhyme or reason, and that's a blot on her character. Narendra Modi came to power in 2014, and I told you earlier he had been debarred from getting a visa to America. But the moment he became the Prime Minister, the Americans began to bend backwards to please Modi. In fact, the American ambassador immediately went and met him in Sabarmati in Gujarat to plead the American case and to tell him that he's welcome to America. But the Americans, as I'm telling you, gentlemen, are a devious lot. ये कुछ करेंगे और कुछ बोलेंगे, यानी जो ये बोलते हैं वो करते नहीं हैं. They are saying that they are friends of India, कि हम हिंदुस्तान के दोस्त हैं, but actually उनके actions ऐसे हैं which clearly show that they are not friends of India. अभी मैं एक इंटरव्यू देख रहा था जॉन मिशमार के, who is one of the very top commentators in America and a very respected man. और उसने एक ही बात कही कि अमेरिका इंडिया का दोस्त है अगर इंडिया चाइना से लड़ेगा, बट अगर इंडिया becomes a superpower, then you can expect that America will come to India with hammer and tongs. They will not let India become a superpower, and that is what is happening. Now just imagine, there is a very small rat in America. His name is Panu. He is a Sikh terrorist, designated terrorist. And this man has got the protection of the CIA. That is number one. Number two, once Mr. Kejriwal was arrested for corruption charges, the American president, as well as the State Department and the ambassador, have said these are red lines. They say we are keeping a watch on what is happening to Kejriwal. They said it is wrong to arrest Kejriwal. Now just imagine, the Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is languishing in jail, but there is no word from America about him. They don't bother about him, about Imran Khan. But they are bothered about a non-entity like Kejriwal. What does this mean? It means they are meddling in India's affairs. Now the Americans, the ambassador to India recently made a statement that red lines could never be crossed. I agree. But what are those red lines and who decides what are the red lines? He was talking of Pannu and the attempt, or rather the fictitious attempt to kill him. One Indian named Mr. Gupta had been arrested in Hungary for this purpose, that he was planning to kill Pannu, and America has asked for extradition from Hungary, and he faces a 20 years jail sentence if he goes to America. It's all very sad, but the Americans, by these actions, have clearly shown, or they have given a notice to India, like that famous book by Rumer Gordon, thus far and no further. That means we'll go with you up to a point, but not beyond that. If you fight over battle with China, we're with you, yes, but not otherwise. And Pakistan remains their pet all the time. Now, I understand there's been some secret negotiations going on पाकिस्तान और अमेरिका के बीच में, और पाकिस्तान अमेरिका को कुछ सीक्रेट बेस देने वाला है बलूचिस्तान में और सिंध में. And this is very sad that they should be going and trying to get these bases in these places. At the same time, they are not telling India anything about it at all. And on India, they have never accepted the Indian contention that Kashmir is a part of India. They never said it. Though they keep repeating that Arunachal Pradesh is a part of India to counter China. So in case there is a war with China, you can expect Americans to be on your side, but otherwise the Americans are not on your side. And tomorrow when India rises up as a great power, the Americans will ensure that this does not happen. That means America at that time will face the brunt of American fury. Now, gentlemen, ये सोचने वाली बात है कि ये सब क्यों हो रहा है. दिस इज एक्चुअली पावर पॉलिटिक्स. जो हमारी लीडरशिप, जो कि इंडियन लीडरशिप है, लेड बाय पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू और फिर शास्त्री थे, इंदिरा गांधी, इनको ये बात कभी समझ में नहीं आई. बात समझनी चाहिए कि एक नेशन की जो शक्ति है, यानी आर्मी है, इसको कहते हैं एक्सपोनेंट ऑफ पावर. They are the ones which create the flag of the Indian nation, or for that matter, any nation in the world. And this was something which the Indian leadership never understood. That is why Nehru, handed over the Cocoa Islands to Burma. Just imagine anybody doing something so stupid. Indira Gandhi handed over the Kashimetu Island to Sri Lanka. What for? These were Indian territories for hundreds of years, yet these people did it. Because they never understood what is comprehension and what is strategic power. अब कोको आइलैंड्स में क्या हुआ है, जो बर्मा को दिए थे, वहां चाइनीज ने एक सर्विलेंस स्टेशन बना दिए, एंड दे आर कीपिंग अ वॉच और इंडियन रॉकेट्स वगैरह जो भी फायर होती है फ्रॉम उड़ीसा. एंड दिस वाज इंडियन टेरिटरी, एंड आपने बर्मा को दे दिया, पंडित नेहरू जी. So why should we keep praising Nehru like a holy cow? He's not a holy cow. I mean, he was a person who let India down badly, and we must, as historians, come out with the truth. But now, Modi must give a chance to Indian power to exert itself. He's on the right track. India's got a base, a naval base made in Seychelles. It never happened before. Seychelles has given India a naval base, and Indian warships are going to operate from there. And we have made a massive base in the Great Nicobar to throttle the Chinese shipping which will go through the Strait of Sumatra. Now all this is part of it, which is called an exponential effect of Indian power. Modi is on the right track. But at the same time, I don't think he's really going whole hammer and tongs to see that India goes up. He's been very soft on the Maldives. The Maldives have been insulting India. But Modi has done nothing about it, other than making some noises here and there. Similarly, the Americans have been talking about India being a flawed democracy, but nobody's countered the American claim. We must remember that America is itself a flawed democracy, where Obama and his sidekick, rather his stooge, Joe Biden, are so frightened of Donald Trump coming to power that they are moving heaven and earth to see that they can pin some criminal charge on Donald Trump so that he is debarred from contesting the election. Because as it stands, Donald Trump is going to win the election. He is many points ahead of Joe Biden. So how can America say they're a very great democracy when they are making attempts to see that Donald Trump is debarred from contesting, and yet they keep on talking about India's Kejriwal has been arrested? I mean, who is Kejriwal? The law has to take its course. Here's a man who did so much of, forgery in the excise policy, and money to the tune of 400 to 500 crores changed hand. There were Hawala transactions, and now he's sitting in jail. Well, it's part of the law. And if the court feels he's not guilty, they will release him. They have released so many people earlier, so they will release him. But at the same time, Indian law moves very slowly, but surely, gentlemen. आप याद रखिए कि लालू प्रसाद यादव 5 साल जेल हो गई थी, ओम प्रकाश चौटाला को भी 5 साल जेल हो गई. आप छुप के बैठे हैं लंदन में विजय माल्या. इस तरफ देखिए 2 साल कैद काट के आ रहे हैं हमारे ग्रेट फ्रेंड सुब्रतो रॉय. There are so many of them, and they are men who are rich and powerful. But as the saying goes, the wheels of law in India, they turn slowly but surely. And Kejriwal has to answer for what he has done. If he's acquitted, I'm happy. Well, that's part of the game. But if there's evidence and he has to go. Gentlemen, the fat is in the fire. India has to counter America. And that is the main question which is now should be agitating the Modi government. Modi has to face up to America. He's doing it rightly, but requires to be a little more proactive. And he's got to face up to China. China can't keep on naming places in Arunachal Pradesh with Chinese and Tibetan names. India could do the same thing and name the places in Tibet with Indian names. And India could also catch China by the tail on Hong Kong and Xinjiang, where the Muslims are treated as second-class citizens. That's also a fact. So it means a proactive approach. The days of Pandit Nehru are over, and Modi must make his presence felt. I will say he's on the right track, but at some times I think he's faltering a little, but that faltering has to stop. And he must realize that America is not your friend. It will never will be. America is America's friend. They are looking to extend their power over the world. They're not bothered about India extending its power. And if India crosses them at any stage, they'll have to face up to America. That is the point you must remember. Even India should not allow the Maldives to get away with what they have done. And I will give one credit to Rajiv Gandhi way back in 88. He authorized the invasion of the Maldives. Now, not many people know about it, but he ordered it. And the Illusion IL-76 aircraft had taken off from Agra with paratroopers commanded by Brigadier Bulsara, and after a 5-hour flight had landed in Maldives, and within a matter of 2 hours, the insurrection against the government had been smashed by the Indian Army. But all credit to Rajiv Gandhi, who took that plunge. Rajiv also took the plunge when he committed the army to fight the battle in North Jaffna against the LTT. I still remember Major General Harkirat Singh was made in charge by Rajiv Gandhi in the campaign in the northern tip of Lanka. It was a battle in which Prabhakar ran away and he took his revenge later on by killing Rajiv Gandhi. Well, gentlemen, I think Rajiv was a wonderful man, but unfortunately, as I told you, he was executed in a bomb blast by the LTTE, engineered by Prabhakar. And Prabhakar himself paid a very terrible price. He was captured by the Sri Lankan army, and he and his son were executed mercilessly. Gentlemen, India has now risen up to a different stage. We have a leader like Narendra Modi, and it's about time Mr. Modi exerted himself with all the backing of 1.4 billion people. The next election is just around the corner, and all I can say is he's going to win hands down, and probably that would be the swan song, the end of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I hope so, because this man deserves no sympathy, no quarter, and if you read the Congress manifesto, it's a lot of BS. You know what BS means? I won't say the word here, but you all know it's a favorite word in English language. Well, gentlemen, India has to face up to America also, because the American economy is tottering. Now, that's something, let me tell you this. The American economy is tottering. They have military power, yes, but the economic power has gone down. There's a $3 trillion debt faced by the American economy, the exchequer, and they're wondering how to go about it. India should not get scared of America at all. It's about time everybody stood up for India. And remember the ancient Indian king, Kanishk, the man who ruled right from Bihar to Kazakhstan. What a great man. I think it's about time Narendra Modi took a leaf out of the book of Kanishk. I think he's probably on the right track. He's going to win the 24 election and he'll win the 29 election also. That would give him 20 years of unstinted power, and that is the time we may see the renaissance of India, the renaissance of Hinduism, and India's graduation to great power status. And America, what about America? You'll have to lump it, there's no choice. China will have to accept this also. Well, gentlemen, I hope you like my rambling thoughts on this subject. I think I will say goodbye to you. If you like my video, please share it with your friends. Come back for more. I look forward to interaction with you all. And goodbye and God bless.